boiling down to this series, Daz.
Yeah, this is going to be something unprecedented for Oxygen if they're going to be able to take down a team like FaZe Clan. Oxygen is 0-6 and 3-20 in games against top 3 this season. We're talking G2, FaZe, NRG. So they haven't shown any type of success like this. Hey, but when it comes down time for the major, sometimes these teams tend to show something different.
And with so much to fight for Oxygen, will that light a fire under them? We saw them dispatch randoms with a sweep. It was precision gameplay from them. Gimmick, a huge part of the offense. And now we're seeing some offense come out. Typical. Interesting shot there. It tested Oxygen, but they held up.
Definitely got to watch out. Typical to AJ, you see those types of pass plays in transition. AJ gets so comfortable in the air. Oxygen are going to have to be able to intercept those, because once FaZe stop getting the passing game working, that's when they're in a prime position for a team going against them to really strike on offense.
Solo play from AJ. He's out of boost, though. Gets some help from First Killer, but Toasty played it well, reading the situation. Now First Killer trying to get the back pass, gets demoed by LJ. Toasty launches it in, gets demoed. First Killer picking up the mid boost, gets a bump on LJ. That'll slow LJ down towards the ball. A lot of tactical plays here off the ball.
Oh, that's good.
And LJ, I mean, you got to go crossbar down, even if you're 6 inches out, right?
You would hope so. It was a little close. It was a little close. First of all, Toasty with the dunk. That's such a good setup. LJ has the net for free just because of the angle that Toasty gets on that 50. So well done. Oxygen on the board first. And when you look over the course of this series, these early goals going to mean a big deal.
Chance for FaZe to answer back. Toasty will catch it with some space, getting a Dominus flick there. Rebound out to LJ, blocked by First Killer. Gimmick, first touch. Second hits it out now to the middle. Toasty, backboard pass. LJ's up, but AJ does read it well. Strong shot back, but it's right to Gimmick. Not the best first touch, but we'll get the clear downfield. However, 2 demos. Numbers advantage for FaZe. First Killer trying to make the use of it, and it is good. AJ pinching it off the post and in, and it was a ground pinch from First Killer that set up the chance.
Yeah, the ground pinch, AJ's able to really follow it up. I mean, it was dangerous for Toasty as soon as he saw First Killer and AJ in the air, and he's sitting on that back wall. Not a lot to do. Defense just broke down based off of that mistouch from Gimmick earlier, and FaZe jumped right on the opportunity.
And you're right, it was that mistouch from Gimmick, and now we see more punishment come out quickly after kickoff. FaZe take the lead.
I mean, this is just a simple First Killer, go back left, get the boost, get a free solo. Oxygen are going to have to be prepared for situations like those, because you can't give them those opportunities.
You're certainly right. You give First Killer options. You even see there defensively, not sure if First Killer was going to go for that double tap off the backboard or a flip reset. And with First Killer, you got to just make that split-second decision and go with it.
Oxygen,
more pressure coming out. Ooh.
You see them just getting a little bit aggressive, sometimes too aggressive. Again, FaZe really good at picking apart strong defenses, and when you go for ambitious touches or when you try to get that lead man up for a demo and leave one person last back, FaZe are gonna, they love that. You can't let it happen. Look at this, it's beautiful. First Killer to AJ, it's 3-1 in terms of FaZe.
First Killer's speed, again, making the difference. You even see that second effort, getting the center ball out to AJ. First Killer all over the field, making plays. Despite that first goal for Oxygen, you know, it seemed like it was a good start for them, but FaZe, the speed has been a bit too much for Oxygen to handle in these last few moments. Even that kickoff goal, tough for Oxygen. We'll see how they bounce back.
For Oxygen, again, it feels like they're trying to play at a higher speed. Oh, wait, look at this pass. Toasty to LJ, gets 2, Gimmick, the low touch. They're able to strike back quickly and make it a 1-goal game.
And you saw AJ had to make the play, but he missed a small pad on his way back. If he's on 0, absolutely empty. If AJ even picks up 1 small pad, he's going to be there in time to make that 50. Oh, that would have made all the difference. And now Oxygen back within 1.
You can see the cams. These guys are locked in. Even if first killer, he can make all the flashy plays he wants to and score. You know, they go down by 2. It doesn't matter. They understand that, you know, when the major's on the line and this is a must-win situation, you have to remain composed. So this one's not going to get out of hand really early on for Oxygen. This will be more so how do things develop moving on in future games. And I like the fact that they're able to come back and get into this scoring immediately after letting first killer get a good play out.
And the goal comes from Gimmick. You know, that player who has all the experience, the roster move, bringing him in so that, you know, Oxygen can compete at this level. So far, it's working out. But FaZe, after that kickoff goal, they got a few quick goals back-to-back. Now just trying to preserve the lead. Attacks on here for Oxygen. A miss from first killer, and that's a nice bounce for Oxygen. Sypical too slow to it. AJ slowing the ball down on his own backboard. Gimmick with 0 boost. He's going to have to retreat back. Toasty didn't even get a touch on that ball.
Oh, good try, LJ, for the read. That's another double commit, but it works. Okay. You can see a little laughs coming out from Oxygen. All right.
Yeah, I mean, you see Sypical. He's getting ready to defend, you know, but he didn't know what to expect. He starts creeping out. He's mesmerized by both players going for the ball. The shot comes in, surprises him. And that's not the play you expect. That's not how you plan it, Daz, but it works for Oxygen.
Yeah, it does. But 30 seconds left. They got to get back locked in. A double commit for FaZe, and this time first killer takes the shot and makes it. They get the lead again.
And it quickly off kickoff, and that is unfortunate for Gimmick. You see this weird touch straight up off the ceiling, and that is a rough break.
It is, and it's kind of like a taste of Oxygen's own medicine against them. AJ goes up, no intentions to really hit the ball. First killer has a good line on the shot. What do you do there? You respect both players, and they just got thrown off.
Now another chance, infield pass. No one dove in. Boy. A long hit. Is it good? Toasty won't be able to get there. An all-in play from Oxygen, and it fails.
And FaZe is going to be the team that is really high risk, high reward on all-in plays. And you see why. First killer just says, okay, clear this on target. We'll lock down game 1 like that.
So we saw the last second effort, and now it's just going to go straight in. Off kickoff, things have been miserable for Oxygen.
Oh my goodness, look away. You'll miss it, because I did. This is just, yeah, you got to go next after that.
Yeah, that's a tough break. But, I mean, it wasn't even the first kickoff goal that we saw in this game. Oxygen, you know, this is where you're going to have to slow things down and at least approach those set pieces differently. Oxygen clearly failing in that department. That has cost them the game potentially. If they didn't have to go all in, maybe we wouldn't have seen these last-minute goals. Obviously, looking at the scoreboard, if you just walked in, you missed all the gameplay, you think, oh, FaZe dominated this entire game. Well, it wasn't the case. Oxygen was in this one until the end.
Yeah, but even then, you do look at that. First killer's numbers do kind of match up. I mean, most of the plays that he was involved in were really, honestly, highlight goals. I mean, you can even see some of them on like the replays here, where first killer gets the double, good read. This one was just more so orchestrated really well by FaZe Clan, but they definitely seem in sync when it comes down to those offensive passes, James. And I feel like for Oxygen, they've been playing a little bit too risky, too fast, and that's kind of been hindering them because they haven't been able to execute. I mean, we've seen definitely some good touches as well. Looking at Toasty, him on the dominance he's gotten a lot of good, nice touches in front, but they have to be more coordinated if they want to take down FaZe Clan.
You're 100% right. You even saw that one touch from Gimmick that blasted the ball off the ceiling that set up that first killer goal where AJ also jumped up for it. First killer looking on point. And generally, first killer, if he's playing at his peak or anywhere close to it, he can really take over a series.
Yeah, and you can tell that they have a lot of confidence going into this too, because they have that, you know, the major lockdown. They know Oxygen want to win this really badly, and that might cause Oxygen to play at a more heightened pace. I feel like even knowing this, it just gives more ammo for FaZe to use and utilize against Oxygen.
AJ, that's 50, going back to back. First killer gets bumped on the wall, will stay in the play, doesn't make contact on that hit. Now LJ tried to take space, but Sypical shut it down. Wave dash pass into the middle, no one there.
Ooh, good follow from LJ, looking for the double. Light touch off the crossbar. Follow-up. Gimmick can't get around it. Was a great effort there from LJ, but just off the mark.
And in a game as close as this one, or a series where you're fighting from behind right now, Oxygen trailing after that game one, those are must-hit shots.
Oh, like this.
No, he's trying to go for the air dribble bump there, but AJ still slowing things down.
The carry. Oh, play out. Gimmick is up for this. Looking for that second touch. Tries to get it towards Toasty in a safe way, but AJ quick to jump on that. FaZe, as mechanical as they are, they know the opportunities, and they're even trying to create some of their own, as AJ just barely missed that top right corner.
But that was a nice air dribble. You saw how clean, how smooth it was. Oxygen, they do have that talent, that ability. But this is a tall task for them. Toasty, first touch, will take it down, trying to get it to the corner. LJ has it pop up. First killer off the ceiling, has his flip, goes for net, and a save from Gimmick. But that effort from First Killer, putting Oxygen off kilter. Now an infield pass. First Killer will chip it off the backboard. AJ, light lob, low boost for Toasty. He's overpowered, but still manages to make the play. That ball looked 90% in, but somehow Toasty kept it out.
And even then, you're seeing more passes, more shots come out from FaZe. And LJ able to start things off here for Oxygen. Despite that defensive stop, we're going to have to look at LJ. Going into this game, LJ is second in goal participation in this tournament at 80%, which means he's been leading the charge for Oxygen. He has to do that again against FaZe, but the problem is they're stuck on defense for almost half the game, and they can't even create offense or get a chance to.
And that's what FaZe Clan does. Individually, players so good that can take the ball into an air dribble play, force the defense to be frozen, or just go up high for these challenges, boost starve them. FaZe Clan, difficult to play against right now. They're looking pretty good. However, it is still all tied up. 2 minutes left to play. We haven't seen a goal in this one. And there's a team pinch. First Killer, backboard pass. Gimmick will break up the play, but that pinch, a good idea.
Yeah, a little hard for FaZe to really follow up on that one. They're looking for a way through. Very coordinated with most of their stretches. It's typical looks for the First Killer. First Killer can't get it past Gimmick. AJ will try to keep this in, looking for more, but it will be a transition in favor of Oxygen.
Oh, what a lovely first touch from LJ. Tried to get that out to the middle, but Gimmick didn't commit on the play. Now right to LJ. AJ trying to clear. This is going to be awkward for FaZe. First Killer landing awkwardly as well, but fortunately for him and fortunately for FaZe, Typical gets a nice clear out.
Good touch there. But wait, Toasty moving downfield, has him on the back end. First Killer with the reach, but he's last back. LJ tries, bumps AJ, bumps First Killer, but First Killer got a piece of the ball. It'll pitch back out to midfield, and Toasty will just lob it back in front. It's a minute remaining. This is the strongest Oxygen have looked on offense.
It is, but First Killer stood in their way. Back-to-back defensive stops. Now another lob. AJ will get the ball out. LJ testing. FaZe, they're starting to bend under the pressure, but have not broken yet. First Killer, perhaps thinking he could score at that angle. We've seen him do it before. That time coming up short. Last 30 seconds before we go into overtime.
Ooh. This is dangerous. AJ's up. Good on Toasty for recognizing that. Does not want to give him the freedom of even possibly working with the ball. But now it's Typical. Off the ceiling, has a reset. Tried to get it past LJ. And you see that extra effort. Those jumps to get in front. Deny them space. Make them give away the ball. That's a double commit. And Toasty can run the other way. He's trying to get the flick past it. And no way! No goal! What
a disaster, a roller coaster of emotions. AJ's pass to the middle was so good that it even faked First Killer out, and then Toasty trying to dribble it. You think he might score it, but he gets help from AJ, who was trying to make up for that play. Disaster for FaZe Clan, but they have a chance. It's over Toasty.
No way.
First Killer off the backboard. AJ redeems himself in a 0-second goal. The kickoff play bites Oxygen yet again. Oh,
they had everything lining up for them. The game was in their hands. And just like that, First Killer with a free ball off kickoff, you know it's most likely going in the net. Unbelievable. They got to play the OT.
Oh my, you saw the hands covering the face there. A tough play. And Oxygen has not won it, so it's overtime. I don't know what's going on right now. We thought it was over, but no. Somebody's sleeping.
This is not a highlight package. This is live, okay? This is live.
Oxygen wishing that was the way it was. But it's never that easy, not against FaZe Clan.
I know Oxygen fans are so upset seeing that on the screen. My goodness. Oh, FaZe.
First killer and first killer with the dagger in overtime. It's a highway robbery from FaZe Clan.
Oh my, first killer from their Oxygen's own back left boost comes out of nowhere and puts it into the top right corner of the net. And
hey, there we go.
That's the right one.
That's the right screen. They figured it out fast. And FaZe Clan, the kickoff goal, it proved to be, again, the death of Oxygen. Off kickoff, something has to happen. You cannot give these away over and over again and expect to win. And this is their entire split coming down to this series. And for it to be their kickoff game that makes the difference, that is going to feel terrible. They've got to make some adjustments.
Yeah, it seems like out of probably the 8 goals FaZe Clan have scored, 3 of them have just been off of kickoffs, which is honestly a big number here because that should be the part where you should have most things locked down. But FaZe Clan has been winning in that area, whether it's get the ball back to first killer who's going for the back boost, or to even kill the ball so someone like first killer or typical can pick it up off of a cheat. Everything's been working so far kickoff wise for FaZe and Oxygen. I mean, they played down the stretch. They looked really good, even up to the final seconds. It was a good game.
2 seconds. They looked good up until those last 2 seconds. Even the production line thinking that game was in the bag. And it's tough to blame them. I mean, you know, to give it up in that way. But it just shows you the power of first killer. First killer making defensive stops back to back. Now we see a long range goal from Sipical, assisted by first killer. FaZe, especially after that last game, you feel like they might be putting the pedal to the metal and pulling too far away from Oxygen to catch up.
Yeah, such a good 50 from first killer. Pitches out. Sipical immediately jumps on top of it and reaches an open look. Oxygen, I know it was the things that happened in the last seconds of game 2 were wild, was a roller coaster, but they got to get things under control because FaZe will keep that momentum and push it forward to the next games.
Yeah, that is tilt watch. You know, you got to watch it and see if Oxygen can recover because losing in that fashion, it doesn't matter. Oh, and here we see another play from FaZe. The speed coming out. You wonder if it's too much to Oxygen for Oxygen to come back from.
Oh, man. The initial shot from AJ was really good. Just for him to wrap around that with the air roll, get it past the defense, and put it up high. Really solid. Good on first killer for being there to finish that one. But, man, FaZe are just... They're so good, just individually and the way they follow up as a team. This is the highlights that you want to see. This is what we expected from this roster at the beginning of the split.
They've finished 3rd place in both regional events prior to this one. Still looking for that first win, and that's really the target, is to be the best. And a save from FaZe again. Sipical on the goal line. It was a hard shot, top corner. Unbelievable. And that was smart defense from FaZe as well. A lot of times on double commits, you see players mistakenly try to cover the same angle, but there you had one FaZe player going low and the other going high, and they kept it out.
And even FaZe, knowing all of the options, the sync on defense is what's important. You still see, obviously, those signs of double commits, but it's been a lot less active. And things have been working out well for them. They definitely just seem much more in sync. As Sipical goes up, almost just outspeed, I don't think that's a word, for Toasty to the ball.
Outpace. I mean, we can go with that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
But we understand. I mean, you got the Jorbictionary out, which is no problem. You know, we'll look for the words and learn as we go along. First killer. Denied by Gimmick, but FaZe happy to keep launching these balls in, looking for rebounds. First killer, solo play chance.
Has AJ.
The flip reset doesn't even need it. First killer with the 50-50 has it bounce through at 20 miles an hour.
And this one hurts probably the most, where you see everybody in net, everyone really trying on that one, and it just bounces past the entire defense. First killer not even needing any help or a flip reset, just nothing. Just the lightest bounce to get past Oxygen's defense. Not a good sign as we approach the bottom half of game 3.
Yeah, that was pain. To see that for Oxygen, you feel for him, especially after game 2. It seemed like it was in the bag. They got gifted that goal from AJ. And now after losing that game in overtime, and we see another first killer save, perfectly deflecting it to the corner. AJ showing us some chain dashing. Oxygen, I mean, just spectating this has been tough as heartbreaking games for them.
Yeah, I mean, for them, it does look bleak. But at the same time, we have seen some of those, those chances, those opportunities come out, especially, we look towards that last game. Obviously, this one gets away from them. And it seems like this could be a sweep. But both of these teams have some history behind them, James. They've both been reverse swept in the best of 7 before. So
it's not over till it's over. You're 100% right. It's not over just yet. Even if FaZe sailed to this win right now, a 3-goal lead, a minute and a half left to play. FaZe are in firm control. See if any life comes out of Oxygen in these final moments. Typical, sucking the life out of them.
Yeah, Sip's not going to make that easy for him at all. FaZe in control for just a free touch. He jumps from midfield. He has the entire net to shoot at. Very good placement from Typical on that shot. And FaZe Clan 4-0. This is just their game.
It really is. And we're starting to see the backboard open up for FaZe Clan. The speed, first killer hard hits. And that shot will be good. LJ trying to get some momentum going into the next game.
LJ, I mean, again, like I said, he was second in the tournament in terms of goal participation, sitting at 80%, which, I mean, for him is great, but for Oxygen, that should be something that they are looking to utilize so much. Just get LJ on the ball when things are in front, let him work, let him kind of dictate and follow up off of that, because even if he's not the scorer, he can bring in those assists just as much.
Well, they'll need some magic. LJ losing control of the ball. Toasty ripping a shot. Typical out. First touch around Gimmick. First killer beat to the ball by LJ. Gimmick looked like he was potentially trying a bump for AJ, but AJ calmly dealing with the pressure, and now first killer clearing it to safety. AJ just trying to play keep away. Oh, but a team bump, and it works out. AJ into the challenge. Sometimes it's your day. It seems like it's FaZe's day today.
Ooh, it does, which is honestly really good for FaZe, considering, they're playing against Oxygen. We're trying to go for the major, and especially even coming off of the loss they took earlier to G2. This is a really good bounce back for them. Like I said, they're trying to get that first regional W.
LJ in the final moments, trying to get one more, but we've seen the back passes over and over from FaZe. Now the bump in the air, typical. That is pouring salt on the wounds of Oxygen. 5-1 FaZe Clan. They demolish Oxygen in game 3.
Oh, first killer go up for the bump. Just so rude. And it just jumps straight down. Oh man, this is a problem. This is a big problem. As FaZe Clan are going to put the series on match point. Typical being a big factor for them in that game, scoring 3 goals. It seems like there's no answer.
And really, Daz, that game 2, that was the hinge on which this series seemed to swing. It's still not over. There's still a chance for Oxygen, but what we've seen in these games after Oxygen losing the lead in those final seconds in game 2, FaZe Clan has started to elevate their gameplay. Oxygen playing a bit more timid, perhaps doubting themselves. But regardless of what it is, FaZe, they're starting to pull away from Oxygen. And that game 2 seemed to be the crucial point of the series.
Yeah, and of course, we have a timeout coming out from Oxygen, so they're going to try to see if they can talk things over. FaZe Clan is doing work here for a lot of teams. You talk about version 1, Space Station Gaming. They both clinch major. FaZe wins this next game. So this is going to be a very important timeout for Oxygen. We're right smack dab in the middle of the season, James. Moments like this could make or break things.
Oh, certainly. And, Daz, talking about it with you recently, it's also the point where you start thinking about the World Championship. We're getting close to the end of this winter split. This is Oxygen's winter split here and now. One last game to prove that they deserve to keep going. If they lose it, it's all over. But making the major in terms of the World Championship means so much. Those major points on the table can help immensely, and that is what Oxygen is fighting for, is that chance to double dip on those points to try to make it to the World Championship.
Yeah, lots of work being done, even leading up to this, right? You bring on Gimmick on the roster. Oxygen coming into this split have looked, fueled up and ready to go, and they've actually, we didn't talk about them in the fall. Now we're being, okay, what's your favorite team? Who's gonna have it to make the major? Even on like other shows like First Touch, me and Rold is very confident that Oxygen we're gonna be able to go through. And I think that, they have gained a lot of new fans as well as that, who also are hoping for the same result. That being said, it's down to a situation that only one team has ever done against FaZe Clan, which is, the General NRG pulling off a reverse sweep against this team. Not something that happens every day. As you see them, they're cold, they're comfortable. Sip is chilling.
You saw smiles. You see smiles from AJ right now. It seems like the mood is good, and it should be. I mean, they know that they got away with theft, especially that game 2. The kickoff goal, first killer off kickoff, has been destroying Oxygen.
Yeah, they have been, and also got to give props to AXB, FaZe coach. He's definitely been talking to the team, but time for talk is done. And now we just got those 5 minutes on the clock. Can Oxygen pull off a reverse sweep? It starts here.
And it is possible. We've seen it before. Will Gimmick be the one to rise up? He was added to the team. Former world champion, and he's been around the RLCS for quite some time. And they need a leader at this moment. Will it be Gimmick? AJ up to first killer, has typical infield pass comes, strong shot, and it's good. The 1-2-3 passing play from FaZe will open things up.
Strong shot indeed. First killer, the small bounce, uncomfortable for the pass, but still Typical put so much behind it, and just off of the post too. Tough save, or tough try at least. Now Oxygen battling from behind.
And you saw Toasty, he had his nose facing towards his own net, trying to be able to play either direction, but Typical still blasts it at that near post, or the post that was closest to the defender, and it was awkward for him. Hard shot, great placement from Typical, and that FaZe play to start things out. Will that be too much for Oxygen to come back from?
It really depends. AJ having a lot of room to work with, does get that pass, Gimmick in the air. First killer to Typical, a free shot, a demo. They were looking for the top left corner, but they couldn't find it. Now Gimmick will try to force it the other way, but that possession just goes right back to FaZe Clan. You can't give up the ball like that.
AJ. Now Typical, weak shot in. LJ, light touch. Gets the boost from the corner. First killer breaking up the play. Ground pinch, catches Toasty by surprise. First killer, the net was open, but now another pass in. First killer gets denied on the first shot, but stays in the play to make this second opportunity work.
It's just, oh, if I can't score, one of my teammates probably can. How can I set them up? Immediately. The comms got to be great here for FaZe Clan. Instantly, first killer with that beautiful pass. Now, FaZe Clan up by 2. They just keep it moving.
And it was that double commit that set up the numbers advantage for FaZe. Now a rebound chance again. Dangerous for Oxygen. They escape with their lives this time. But defensively, we've seen a few mistakes now for Oxygen when they need to be playing perfect.
Good touch from Toasty. But the passes keep coming. The first killer almost making contact with that, but the fact that no one was able to challenge him and that gets through is part of the problem. LJ trying to create something. Gimmick doesn't want to go. Comes a little too late, and the defense is there to make the save.
Infield pass. Approaching the halfway point of the game. FaZe up by 2. Scoring chance now for Oxygen, and it's good. Toasty will get the goal, but he got the demo. It looks like it tipped him. But this was a smart play from Oxygen.
Yeah, get that first touch out and leave it for LJ. Get this demo on typical, open net, and yeah, you get a little touch coming out from Toasty at the end. As long as Oxygen get the goal on the board, that's all they care about.
And for Oxygen, approaching it one step at a time.
Oh, wait.
Chance for LJ. The shot blocked by First Killer. What a save.
What a save indeed. For the fact that he had to reach over there. He's pretty much guessing that that's going top right. Because the way LJ shot that, he could have put that any place. Great work. Oh, no, but a double commit on the side of Oxygen. FaZe Clan, they're under a lot of pressure, but they can break out in a counterattack any moment.
Counterattack coming. Double tap from AJ. Gimmick will clear it downfield. LJ to the middle. Toasty, the hard shot. First Killer, again a save, and another touch downfield. First Killer, we talk so much about his offensive plays, but defensively this series, he has been rock solid for FaZe.
Gonna need that defense too. As LJ tries to pick up the ball. Look at that. Immediately, Typical says, no, not gonna let the play develop. We'll get in front of it. First Killer hops on top of the ball. It's a pass to AJ, and this time the save will be made with the shot off the post.
Oxygen hanging in there by a thread. Now on the counterattack, 50 from LJ. AJ will block it out to the corner. Toasty again towards the backboard. Typical trying to control it. Pressure from Gimmick. It's wrapping around. AJ tipping it off to the sideline. Toasty with boost. Playing keep away. FaZe trying to stabilize. Typical up to First Killer, and that's a big boom. LJ couldn't get to it. It's floating out in mid. AJ to a sip.
What is happening?
He was trying to set it up, but the touch, not what he was looking for.
They had a lot of time there, but didn't think about where everyone was. AJ, what? Oh my goodness, what a save from LJ. I thought that was just in the net. It was an unbelievable shot from AJ. My goodness.
Defensive stop after stop. The miss, but First Killer gets in AJ's way. First Killer now 50, the ball back to FaZe's corner. Scoring chances galore for both sides, but the defense making plays on either end. Now Toasty to Gimmick the redirect. Oxygen tie it up.
Unbelievable. He's on their own back wall when he makes the redirect, James. Toasty gives it right to him, and it's the little chip to get it past Typical. And Oxygen are starting to breathe again.
Oh my, and Gimmick actually ran into his teammate, and that helped stop his momentum to put him in a place to even get that redirect. That was a wild play for Oxygen, and there's hope. FaZe, we've seen them have last-second heroics all series long. Now First Killer on the dribble, gets the bump on Toasty. First Killer with the dagger.
If there's anyone who can do it, it's First Killer. Give him room and give him boost. That's all you need. And Toasty, he didn't even bump him. He just went right over him.
Well, I saw some sparks, but I don't think it really even mattered. Toasty had no shot on that play. First Killer had him dead to rights. Now a chance for AJ to put this further out of reach, but he's 50. Toasty, can he do something? Flip reset from Toasty. Backward play. AJ screams in and prevents Gimmick from taking the shot. FaZe Clan will win it. What an effort from First Killer and FaZe Clan to make the sweep happen.
That was big. FaZe Clan ended up taking that one. And congratulations to SSG and V1, because with that result, it books their ticket to LA. My goodness, Oxygen, they had a lot of fight. They put everything on the table, even down to the last few seconds. But it just wasn't enough to beat FaZe Clan.
It wasn't enough. And FaZe, for them, I mean, yes, they lost earlier to G2, but the clutch factor we saw out of them in this game was wild. The games that they stole, the last second plays that they made, and particularly from First Killer. This is one of those series where he took over. He really did take over. The plays in high pressure situations. The game is on the line, and First Killer delivered over and over again.
One of the great things about this, though, is he wasn't alone. He did take over, but he had help. AJ and Sypical were definitely like just keeping up with him in terms of offensive pace. They look like a machine out there. And this, like I said, going into this one, FaZe Clan showing us the team and the potential of why they're a top team.
So FaZe Clan take down Oxygen. And with that, like you said, Version 1 and Space Station booking their tickets to Los Angeles. We'll be seeing them at the Major. And to watch the rest of the Mobile One Mountain Classic play through, you're going to have to stay with us after the break.